State Governor seeks to boost blue economy in Akwa Ibom with support from Nigerian Navy. Akwa Ibom Deputy Governor commends World Bank for assistance in development. State legislature to investigate abandoned hostel projects at Akwa Ibom State University. NLC suspends strike as President Tinubu intervenes. Details in just a moment. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Akbc 45 News at noon. I am Ufotu Doka. Now the news in detail. Collaboration on security of maritime environment establishment of a fish city as well as shipbuilding venture in the state were on the front burner when officers of the Nigerian Navy led by the Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala visited Government House. They were received by Governor Moino. Government House reporter Patience John completes the story.
Congratulating the Chief of Naval Staff on his recent promotion to the rank of a Vice Admiral, Governor Moino listed areas the state government will appreciate partnership with the Nigerian Navy to include maritime security, development of the blue economy, among others. The governor specifically called for further discussion between the state and the Nigerian Navy and the establishment of a fish city, building of ferries and leisure ships to boost the tourism sector of the state, as well as increase food production.
But we need to, we're sure if the Navy partners with us, it will be good business for you. We will not be paying in dollars, we'll be paying in naira. So, and then that will also help us with security. Because if you give us a ship, I'm sure we want to protect. We can, through that fish city, provide even exports for the country. So David can help partner with the state and feed the nation as it were.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, acknowledged Akwa Ibom State as a critical operation base for the Nigerian Navy and thanked the state government for the support its organization has enjoyed over the years, while assuring him of the Nigerian Navy's readiness to ensure the completion of the fish city and other engagements.
The Nigerian Navy recognized Akwa Ibom State as a key partner in progress. Let me quickly thank you for some of your recent support with the Nigerian Navy. For instance, the land which was provided for us at SLA, I want to thank the state government for the recent provision of land at Utaewa. So we are ready to compete with you in that area. All we need to do is to get a brief on what you want, then we look at it and come up with a design.
Patience John, Akbc News.
Governor Mono says his administration, through the Arise agenda, will ensure a veritable environment that will build on the youth leadership capacities as well as entrepreneur development. Governor announced this at a workshop on capacity building by Yagia Africa Center for Legislative Engagement, organized for the Young Parliamentarians Forum in the House of Representatives of Abuja. The event held at the 4 Point by Sheraton Hotel, Ikorepene. Government House reporter Otimima reports.
Represented by his deputy Senator Okuneyayi, Brashton said that leadership is all about responsibility and that 60% of the Nigerian population falls under the age of 25. He explained that although the population structure is very essential for the future growth and prosperity, it also places on them the burden of good and visionary leadership. The state chief executive stressed that the forum, which draws its membership from strategic youthful demographic of the population from the mainstream political leadership, is an indispensable national asset. He thanked the forum under the leadership of Representative Akbc Tugura and Yaga Africa Center for Legislative Engagement for choosing Akwa Ibom State among other numerous viable options to host the event.
I urge you to remain conscious of your duty to your generation and by extension to Nigeria by making laws that promote youth development, prosperity, and well-being, because you are key players today and the future we are hoping for.
The Executive Director Yaga Africa, while addressing guests and participants, stated that the aim of the workshop was to train young legislators to succeed in building a quality leadership. He said Akwa Ibom State has been critical and central to legislative performance, commending the state for being a great contributor to youth development.
We at Yaga Africa have a duty to support young legislators to succeed. And one of the things that it's important to note is that even though we played a critical role in the not too young to run legislation, we deemed it fit to sustain that support for young legislators, to deliver quality leadership.
In the speeches, the chairman Young Parliamentarians Forum in the House of Representatives, Mr. Akbc Tugura, disclosed that the epoch-making event was designed to train young legislators in the 10th Assembly to discharge their duties, while the chairman House Committee on Youth Development, Mr. Martin Nissan, appreciated Akwa Ibom State government for the warm reception.
My pleasure to let Her Excellency know that this forum is a forum of young parliamentarians from the Senate to the House of Reps to the State Assemblies for members that are elected at the age of 45. What you see here is a selection from amongst our members. This training is designed to happen in batches. This is the first batch. Like Samson already said, we hope to come back to Akwa Ibom for the second batch of this training. We sincerely appreciate your hospitality. The people of Akwa Ibom are very hospitable, and we appreciate that. Your Excellency, let me especially thank the government of Akwa Ibom State for the warm reception, for the conduciveness of the environment, for allowing us to have this one important.
We thank you for your time and your commitment to nurturing the education and development of our legislators here, to bettering the education and development of our legislators here. Your presence and words of advice will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on us today.
Dr. Taina, who was the guest speaker, took the people on floor procedure in the legislative process.
One of the things I'm going to relate and judge up with the young legislators is that they must ensure that the states comply with the provisions of the Constitution, and they must ensure the same freedom that we have, which I and you enjoy in the National Assembly. The same must be translated to the houses of assembly in the states all over the country. Pray that Akwa Ibom should be to take the lead in setting up that community.
Otubi Maokon, Akbc News.
As the Nigeria Immigration Service celebrates Diamond Jubilee, the State Deputy Governor Senator Akbc has charged its officers and other security agencies on proper surveillance and safety in the state. Senator Akbc gave the charge in a goodwill message to mark the celebration held at Ibom Hall. Otoy Malcolm reports.
Senator Akbc, while congratulating the State Immigration Service on their Diamond Jubilee celebration, said the government was concerned about the security and welfare of its people. The second citizen of the state sued for effective and efficient surveillance of border and coastal communities.
Permit me to commence my remark by felicitating the Controller General, Mrs. Nura Ola, and the Controller of Akwa Ibom State Command, CIS Obama Basidakar, all the officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service, and indeed all Nigerians on this, His historic momentum, the Diamond Jubilee of this frontline and exemplary national institution. It is safe to conclude that the service is discharging its mandate creditably in line with the global best practices. This is highly commendable and worth celebrating.
The Comptroller of Immigration Service, Akwa Ibom State Command, Francisca Ducott, described the workshop as aimed at creating awareness among the citizens.
Enhancing seamless regular migration is our theme for this Diamond Jubilee. It is intended to create awareness among the citizens. The needs associated with regular and on behalf of the Comptroller General of Nigerian Immigration Service and every officer and men of Nigerian Immigration Service. Akwa Ibom State Command, I warmly welcome you all.
The event featured a paper presentation on enhancing seamless regular migration and cutting of the anniversary cake. Otobi Maokon, Akbc News.
The World Bank has been commended for its supportive role to Akwa Ibom State and Nigeria by touching the lives of the citizenry. The Deputy Governor, Senator Akoneyari, made the commendation while receiving the World Bank task team on NG case at the Government House Wheel. Again, Otobi Maokon reports that some members of the State Executive Council also witnessed the advocacy visit.
Yarangi, while welcoming the delegation, responded to concerns raised by the World Bank tax team, disclosing that the present administration is ready to connect and attract opportunities for its people via the World Bank tax project. She described the World Bank project as one of the best connections to better the lives of the citizenry, especially the vulnerable ones. Senator Yarangi, who acknowledged World Bank support for Nigerians during the period of COVID-19 pandemic, encouraged the team to put their best to ensure that Akwa Ibom State benefits.
Akwa Ibom State, I must confess, always is on top of projects like this. The good thing is that the present administration is here with a supervision. The World Bank project is a welcome project. It's accepted by the government of Akwa Ibom State, and so the governor of the state has said I should let you know that whatever was not done properly will be corrected.
The World Bank tax team leader on NG Cares, Professor Falushu Ogunmadiwa, appreciated the unique opportunity given to them in the advocacy visitation to the state.
The team is here for two reasons. Yes, one is advocacy to the state on NG Cares. But the other is that the federal team is also reviewing the independent verification assessment reports for all states and FCT, which they have just completed and they are giving to them. They have chosen Akwa Ibom, Uyo in particular, as the place to quietly sit down and do an excellent job.
The Commissioner for Economic Development, Mr. Clement Bob, acknowledged the supportive role of World Bank to the state and Nigeria in the implementation of programs for the benefit of the vulnerable.
And I want to acknowledge the fact that World Bank has been working closely with the government of Akwa Ibom State over the years, and we appreciate that. And World Bank has been very, very supportive. The implementation of NG Cares, and in Akwa Ibom State, we call it AK Cares.
Otobi Maokon, Akbc News.
We will take a break here, and still to come, state legislature to investigate abandoned hostel project at Akwa Ibom State University, and sanctions Nigeria cut power supply to the Niger Republic. Details after the break. Stay with us. You're still watching Akbc 45 News at noon. Akwa State House of Assembly has mandated a committee on environment and data works to take immediate action to arrest the devastation caused by gully erosion at Northern Anang Secondary Commercial School, Itmepo local government area. The House was responding to a motion by the Itmepo State Constituency Representative Mr. Mfonidon entitled Motion on Urgent Action Against Gully Erosion Menace. Legislative Affairs Correspondent Uyokoswa reports.
The lawmaker argued that the menace caused by the erosion had gained profound magnitude and was progressively threatening the safety, infrastructure and well-being of indigents of the school's host community, as well as staff and students of the school. Mr. Dung also lamented the eroding of the access road to the school and prayed the House to take immediate steps to salvage the threatened infrastructure.
Note that the devastating effect of the gully erosion in this school environment has become manifestly deteriorating, and if not addressed promptly, the situation will become worse.
The House also urged the Committee on Education to interface with the State Ministry of Education to find out why hostels constructed for students of Akwa Ibom State University were abandoned, resulting in the mass patronage of private hostels off campus and exposing the students to danger. The issue emanated from a motion by the Senudum State Constituency Representative, Prince Okpong Akbabio, entitled Need to Construct Hostels for Students of Akwa Ibom State University.
Recall that sometimes in 2010, the state government has awarded contract for the construction of hostels in the university with a capacity to accommodate 2,600 students. Further recall that 13 years after the award of the contract, the hostel project remains unrealized as contractors abandoned the project midway in this construction. This is a very serious matter that needs to be addressed, so that by next 2 weeks we have a report. For a student who lost his life, it's not a good thing. It doesn't go well with the test.
The House is scheduled to reconvene on Tuesday, August 8th. Uyoko Uswa, Akbc News.
Still on the legislature, the Public Account Committee of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly says it is poised to discharge its duties according to its mandate of ensuring that the state funds are transparently spent and not looted. Chairman of the committee, Mr. Eric Apan, was speaking Wednesday at the inaugural meeting of the committee. Again, Uyokoswa reports.
Prior to inaugurating the committee, Mr. Pan read the terms of reference of the Public Accounts Committee to its members, but emphasized that while nobody would be wish-hunted, the committee will remain firm and diligent in discharging its responsibilities.
The functions of the committee shall be A, to consider the report of Auditor General of the Public Accounts of the state, local governments, and all officers, courts, and authorities of the state, including all persons and bodies established by the law entrusted with the collections and administration of public monies and assets.
Some members of the committee spoke on the responsibilities accorded them.
I want to assure you that as a person, I'll give you every support you need to ensure that we replace the state, the records of the state, straight at least for once, as members of the State Assembly.
Like we said, we are not going to taunt anybody, but no matter the pressure that will come, we should not hesitate to do the job that we were elected to.
Whatever you want to direct it to, whether projects or local government account management, whatever, the moment there is a shortcut, there is bound to be problems. And at that point, you will become the biggest witch hunter as far as this state is concerned. You have no option, you have to take it.
The Public Accounts Committee of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, as constituted, has a lifespan of 4 years. Uyouku Uswa, Akbc News.
Hundreds of people have benefited from the medical mission floated by the National Association of Sea Dogs at the Carford Primary Health Center. In addition, the free medical mission, the group also inaugurated a rehabilitated borehole for the medical center as part of activities for a 2023 National Convention holding in Uyo. Samuel Ayara was there and now reports.
Free consultations, medical checks, medications and eye checks were among services provided at the free medical outreach, which some beneficiaries are grateful for.
I think it's a very prompt and a good one to the community because they are giving out back to the community. That's the most essential. The crowd here is massive, conducting it properly and orderly.
Enlisting the gesture as the group's way of supporting indigent Nigerians access quality Medicare, the international president, Mr. Abiola Owaje, said they were committed to enhancing livelihood, especially as a global economy bites harder. Owaje, who promised to do more at providing functional social support, expressed the belief that the rehabilitated water project at the health facility would serve the community's portable water needs.
This is not unusual in the sense that we do this quite regularly in different communities, and particularly when we have activities. I've listened to the speech today and I've taken interest in some of the needs that are here. Of course, we also try to ensure that the needs requirements that we look into are matched by what we can provide for the community. So we've noticed and observed all these needs. We try as much as possible to see which of them we can plug into and assist. We do understand that the government cannot do everything by themselves because they have so many other issues that are requiring the same funding from the same pot that we're looking at. So that's where organizations like ours try to step in to see how best we can assist.
Chairman of the Ward Development Center, Otwekong Imeudosen, and officer in charge of the medical facility, Mrs. Florence Udodo, appreciated the National Association of Sea Dogs for the outreach.
I feel honored, humbled, and proud that the organization, such with competent hands in different fields, is poised to render humanitarian services free at this critical time for humanity.
So we really appreciate everyone that contributed in this free medical treatment. My prayer is that may God continue to bless everyone in Jesus' name.
The National Association of Sea Dogs are in Uyo for their 2023 annual general meeting, tagged Sustainability Converge. Samuel Ayara, Akbc News.
The Nigerian Labour Congress has confirmed the suspension of a strike following the intervention of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Senate. The resolution followed the National Executive General Meeting of the Congress. According to the National Treasurer Hakim Ambali, in a task message said protests have been suspended due to the intervention of the Senate and a meeting with President Tinubu Wednesday night. The protest, which was held across the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, prompted an emergency meeting between the President and the Labour leaders. The NLC President Joe Ajaro, after the meeting with President Tinubu, said the federal government has made some commitments. Meanwhile, the Labour Centre is expected to brief the public. Power supply from Nigeria to Niger Republic was stopped Wednesday as sanctions against the neighboring country by the Economic Community of West African States increases. On Sunday, ECOWAS, led by Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, decided on sanctions against the military personnel in Nigeria who toppled President-elect Muhammad Bazoum last week. On July 26, officers of the Niger Republic Presidential Guard arrested Bazoum and declared him disposed. In addition to a one-week ultimatum to restore constitutional order and the suspension of financial transactions with Niger, ECOWAS decreed the freezing of all service transactions, including energy. Impeccable sources in Nigeria's power sector confirmed the development, adding that the move was in line with the sanctions decided by ECOWAS. And now to football. The World Football Body FIFA has made known it plans to pay prize money directly to account of winning players in the ongoing Women's World Cup in Australia, New Zealand. FIFA Secretary General Fatima Samara, who confirmed this on social media, explained that the policy changed due to unpaid allowances issued involving Nigeria's Super Falcons. The Falcons head coach Raridi Waldron had earlier revealed that some players were owed 2 years backlog of match bonuses. This caused a lot of stir and almost affected the players' preparations, as some insisted on missing training to protest unpaid bonuses. In the video, Samara said she knows things have been tough for the Falcons. As such, FIFA for the first time will monitor that bonuses get to the players directly. FIFA had said every player participating in the World Cup group stage will earn $30,000. The match bonuses will increase to $60,000 in the second round of the competition. And that's the news this afternoon, but just before we go, a quick look at the recap. Collaborations on security of maritime environment, establishment of a fish city, as well as shipbuilding venture in the state were on the front burner when officers of the Nigerian Navy, led by the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, visited Government House. They were received by the State Governor, Pastor Omoino. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has mandated its Committee on Environment and Data Works to take immediate action to arrest the devastation caused by gully erosion at Northern Anang Secondary Commercial School at Mepo local government area. The House was responding to a motion by the Etmepo Ika State Constituency Representative Mr. Mfanidon entitled Motion on Urgent Action Against Gully Erosion Menace. That's the news. Thanks for staying with us. Good afternoon.